POV. You stand on the sun-drenched hills outside Athens, the birthplace of Western civilization. Around 800 BCE, Greece wasn't a united nation, it was a collection of city-states: polis, Athens, Sparta, Corinth, Thebes, and more. Each had its own government, gods, and ambitions. Athens pioneered democracy, with citizens debating in the agora. Sparta, by contrast, was a military society, training boys from age 7 in the famous agora on trials, endurance, and discipline. But Greece's story is defined by warfare and ideas that shaped the world. The Persian was 499–449 BCE, when Persian king Darius invaded Greece in 490 BCE. Athens faced him at Marathon. POV. You stand on a dusty battlefield. Greek hoplites in bronze armor hold the line. Against all odds, 10,000 Athenians defeat 25,000 Persians, an unlikely victory that saves Greek freedom. 10 years later, King Xerxes comes south with an empire-sized army. At Thermopylae, 300 Spartans and 700 bands delay Persia, but perish. POV. You're in a narrow mountain pass, shields locked, hearts pounding, stalling an empire. Meanwhile, Athens and its fleet destroy the Persian fleet at Salamis in a naval masterpiece of strategy over strength, of victory that turns the tide. After Plataea, the Greeks drive out the Persians and secure their homeland. But victory breeds ambition. The golden age of Athens, 5th century BC under Pericles. Athens builds the Parthenon on the Acropolis. The agora buzzes with philosophers like Socrates, playwrights like Sophocles, and historians like Herodotus. POV. You walk among marble columns, listening to debates echo against stone. Athens becomes the cultural capital of the Mediterranean, but military ambition looms again. The Peloponnesian War for 31404 BC. Athens and Sparta clash for control. Athens, with its navy, blocks Sparta's access. Sparta, with its army, invades Athenian lands. The war drags on. Thucydides describes famine, plague, betrayal. The plague kills Pericles. The Athenian expedition to Sicily ends in disaster. POV. You're in a siege-ravaged city, walls crumbling, faces hollowed by starvation. In 404 BCE, Athens surrenders. Sparta reigns supreme, but all Greece is weakened, vulnerable to new powers. Rise of Macedon and the conquests of Alexander, 4th century BC. From the north rises Philip II of Macedon, who conquered city-states and reforms the military. He unites Greece under Macedonian hegemony. His son, Alexander the Great, inherits this power. In just 12 years, 333–3 BC, Alexander sweeps through Persia to India. He captures Tyre, defeats Egypt, and defeats Darius III. You're in the opening scene of the siege of Tyre. Sea walls, battering rams crashing, hopes of a new empire. Alexander's goal: blend east and west, founding cities like Alexandria, spreading Greek language, arts, and governance. Legacy and decline. After Alexander's death in 323 BCE, his empire fragments among generals. The Diadochi, Hellenistic kingdoms rise. Ptolemaic Egypt, Seleucid Persia, Antigonid Macedonia. Greek arts, architecture, theatre, science, and philosophy flourish in Alexandria, Pergamon, Antioch. You stand in a vast library. Scrolls of Euclid, Archimedes, and Hippocrates fill endless shelves. Greece as a political power fades. Rome absorbs Macedon, 168 BC, then Egypt, 30 BC. Still, Greek thought became Rome's backbone and eventually Europe's Renaissance fuel. But Greece wasn't just about war, conquest, and shifting alliances. It was also the birthplace of critical thought, the foundation of philosophy, logic, and ethics that still shape the modern world. POV. You sit among marble columns in the Athenian agora. A stern-faced man turns to you and asks, "What is justice?" It's Socrates, the father of Western philosophy. He wrote no books. He simply asked questions. And for that, he was sentenced to death. His method, seeking truth through dialogue, still lives in classrooms and debates today. His student Plato gave us the idea of ideal forms, the immortal soul, and the concept of the perfect state. He founded the Academy, the first university in history. There he taught Aristotle. POV. You walk through shaded groves as Aristotle gestures to the stars. He speaks of logic, ethics, biology, and politics. He became tutor to Alexander the Great, and centuries later, his work would guide both science and theology. Greek philosophy turned war into wisdom. From political chaos came the idea of citizenship. From suffering, ethics. From beauty, aesthetics. POV. You walk away from an ancient amphitheater at sunset, echoes of drama and philosophy lingering in the air. Greek city-states paved the way for democracy, science, philosophy, and art. There was defined Western identity. Their ideas shaped centuries. Thank you for witnessing the rise and fall of ancient Greece. Comment which part resonated most. Persian wars, Peloponnesian drama, or Alexander's journey. Subscribe to Povshorsit for video 4. The Rise of the Roman Empire.